And in honor of Black History Month, we are highlighting some fearless Tougaloo College students who staged an historic sit-in at a segregated lunch counter in the capital city back in 1963. 3 News Side's Quentin Smith shows us the impact that demonstration had on the state then and now.
May 28, 1963, students and faculty from Tougaloo College went to a segregated lunch counter in downtown Jackson. The craving for change and hunger to end racial discrimination was a bold move and had a lasting impact on the civil rights movement.
Believe it or not, there were over 300 sit-in movements. The Jackson, Mississippi movement was titled and deemed the most violent.
This is video of that sit-in from more than 5 decades ago. These Tougaloo College students, Memphis Norman, Ann Moody, and Perlina Lewis, make their way inside Woolworth's first, looking to order food.
The 3 folks sat down and, nothing happened. And, but then those high school boys got down there, and a girl or 2, and they were not happy.
Joan Trumphauer Mulholland was a white student, but also hungry for change. She was sitting at the counter that day. After being denied service, she says a large and angry mob of whites who felt they had no right to be there gathered around them. She says things quickly turned violent.
What were they dumping on us? Everything they could get their hands on. Ketchup, mustard, all the condiments that were sitting on the counter. Memphis Norman, the only guy, got kicked to where he was bleeding out of every hole in his head.
The assaults against these peaceful protesters went on for 3 hours, with police inside watching as it happened, but doing nothing to stop it.
You're talking about people putting out a lit cigarette on your skin. You're talking about them breaking an actual glass container that held sugar and coming at you with a ragged glass edge. You're talking about hot coffee being splashed in your face.
Civil rights leader Medgar Evers helped organize the sit-in and considered stopping it after hearing about what was happening.
And the students said, tell Mr. Evers, no, we don't want to leave.
The students wanted to finish what they started, fighting for equality.
Here is where...
It's something Hezekiah Watkins knows all about. The civil rights activist and Mississippi's youngest freedom rider remembers the struggle to order and be served a simple meal inside restaurants.
You have to exit the front door, go around back, knock, wait for someone to come and take your order to eat.
That's why he says the sit-in was such a brave and pivotal moment of the civil rights movement. The entire world had a chance to see the racial injustices African Americans were facing.
When this group got together and said, we're going to the Woolworth and we're going to sit there until we are served, man, that was gold.
So you can see there's a mob already gathered.
A tribute to these brave men and women of the movement is set up inside the Smith Robertson Museum and Cultural Center in Jackson.
It was all about a catalyst for change, and they believed that they were on the forefront of that change, not just for Jackson, not just for the state, but for the nation.
And that change would come. The year following the sit-in, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed, ending segregation in public and private places.
They remember what happened at the Woolworths.
Gwen Harmon is the manager of the museum, and she believes that legislation and the right for all races to eat peacefully inside a restaurant stems from what happened in downtown Jackson. Mulholland says that was the goal they hoped to accomplish all along. More than 50 years later, the civil rights activist says she's proud to see the change that she and other determined demonstrators helped create.
I think it gave Black people more courage to step up, and I think it got more white people thinking about integration and that this is not the way we should be.
Everybody started tearing down those barriers. So it was to me the thunderous blow that helped that movement to be a success.
May of 2023 will mark 60 years since that sit-in took place in downtown Jackson. Reporting in the capital city, Quentin Smith, 3 on your side.